want to leverage and team work in real estate because they are conscious of I'm going to have to share my commission with other people. But I would argue that I would rather share my commission with other people than have a little piece. There's an argument that says that, and I buy the argument big time, and it simply says that you are better off with a 10% of 100 people's effort than 100% of, one person's effort, which definitely is little. And real estate really is like that. And I will share my own personal story with you guys. So many years ago, I realized I was able to do hundreds of millions in sales every month. Okay? But at some point, I said to myself, how easy is it for me to scale this? How can I scale this hundred of millions in sales? And I said to myself, option one is to try and hope I can sell billions every month, which is very doable. Option two, which is much easier, is to produce my kind. And I get 10 people who also can be doing what? About 200 million every month. That will give me instantly, easily 2 billion in sales. Yes, I'll need to share part of my commission with them. And I decided to do the other one, which was to raise a team of 10 people to start selling for me. Today now that team is in hundreds. I give them my leads, they try and help me close my leads, and it really, really transforms our business. But most of us don't have that mentality. We're just still stuck with my commission, one man show, me alone. Are you aware that even you watching me right now, you are not supposed to just think of selling real estate alone? You're supposed to look at recruiting 10 people under you, 20 people under you, 50 people under you to say, can we start calling together? Remember what I taught you earlier in this 30-day sales challenge, that from the 5th to the 8th contact, you close 80% of the leads, right? And so this tells you that, and this is very powerful, you don't need to be the same person calling them the first time, calling them the second time, calling them the third time, calling them the fourth time, calling them the fifth time. No. Maybe you want to do 2 or 3 and then pass it on to your colleague. And we do this a lot in our company. We rotate leads, right? So after one person has been with a lead and isn't able to close it for a while, we insist the person pass on the lead to other people and we need to rotate like that. And we notice that it has helped us increase our number of sales compared to mind you, in real estate, it takes a while to close. A lot of time people will be with you for 1 year before they buy, 6 months before they buy, 2 years before they buy, 3 years before they buy. So if you just give up on the leads, it's like you've given up on the money to somebody else. And sometimes you're thinking of one person doing 100 million with you, 200 million with you, 1 billion in terms of naira. In dollars, yeah, you have one person just doing $1 million with you. So you don't want to give up on the power of the collective. The benefit also of being a team when it comes to real estate is that you have this accountability partner, right? You're encouraging yourself. When one person is discouraged, and it can be discouraged. Imagine you're calling someone saying, get out, scammers. Hey, I don't believe you. Oh, I don't trust you people. Oh, you're all thieves. And mind you, when you're making calls, people will throw accusations of what they don't even know about. They can start down and say, thief, Banawo. People said this. I heard this about you. I heard this about him. So it's critical that you must work as a team, because that way you just both will laugh and say, see what I just said. Everybody laugh at you. You move on to the next call, and then to the next call. And at some point, you break through. So I hope you've been encouraged about the place of team in closing sales, building your sales team. Assignment today, I want to build a team of more 10 people. Reach out to 10 people. They don't have a job, they're struggling in their finances, they're even very successful, but they're looking for side hustle, right? They are not even necessarily looking for side hustle, but they're very well networked. Just tell them, you know what, you give me the lead, I close them, right? And we'll share the commission together. there are so many concepts you can keep looking out for and keep recommending, but you must work as a team. If you're going to really be that real estate guy that's going to have an exceptional result. And I can't wait to hear your testimony. I can't wait for you to have an unusual breakthrough and results in your real estate business, right? Again, I want to say thank you all for being part of this. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you at the top. I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo, again, the convener of the 30 Days Billionaire Sales Challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing you on day 26. Bye-bye.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 25 of the 30 Days Sales Challenge. And I hope we have gotten value from the subsequent trainings. All right. So I welcome every one of us once again, those joining us in your different branches and those joining us here online. I welcome each and every one of us once again. And so, and I hope we've gotten value from today's training, this morning training by our chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. And so we're going to get started by asking us what we've learned from this morning training, and who can tell us, share with us what is the topic of this morning training by Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Who can share with us what is the topic, and then what did you learn from this morning's training? If you know the topic, you can type that in the chat box. Okay, teamwork in sales. Oh, that's beautiful one coming from Uchechukwu Paul. All right, can someone tell us what you learned from this morning training by our chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo? Can someone share with us? You can drop it in the chat box. You can also unmute and then share with us what you learned from this morning training. Remember, the topic is sales team or teamwork in sales. So remember that sales, it's a game of number. In other words, the more people you have in your sales team determines the more sales, the more likely you're going to close the sale. The more people you have in your sales team will determine the more likely you're going to close a sale. So can you share with us what you learned from today's training? Who is taking the lead? Replicating your kind. Coming from Mercy Benibo. All right. Replicating your kind. Beautiful. This is also an aspect in teamwork that has to do with training. So you don't just recruit a team, your team, right? You have to train them. You have to replicate yourself and your team so that they can also get the same results like you as a leader. A leader working with team, you don't just recruit people to work with you. No. You also know as a leader, you are committed to training them, right? Bringing them to your level So that would determine their efficiency. It also determines their effectiveness as team. Outside training, it's as good as you are working alone, even though you have a team. So you have responsibility of not just recruiting the team, you also have responsibility as a leader to train your team. When you fail in training your team, then it's as good that you don't have a team, right? So can I hear from Olakunle Oyawale what you learned from this morning training? Can you unmute yourself and share with us what you learned from this morning training?
Oh, I'm
Olakunle.
sorry, I joined late. Okay. I think what I learned, yeah, it's about training a team not to take the commission to into oneself, because that if you are making a call, if you are the only one repeating a call to someone at a time, the person might just feel somehow. But if you are working as a team, that is good, because eventually it brings us strength. And again, if they are trying to insult or make you feel somehow, the team, one will just laugh over it as it's just one of those things, and it brings credibility and it brings encouragement. And that's what I learned.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Olakunle, for that wonderful input and observation. All right, so there's one thing that is common in teamwork in sales is there must be a place of trust. And one of the things that destroy teamwork in sales is selfishness. You know, why people decide to work alone is because of selfishness. Probably you just want to eat the commission alone. You don't want to share with someone. You just want to work alone. And this is the exact place where people get it wrong in sales, because actually that's it's not okay. Let's, for instance, looking at in a football match, it's everyone have their place. A football match is a good picture to narrate what actually sales should be. It's not everyone that should score. There are times, depending on your responsibility, you mustn't be the one that will close the deal, even though the deal came through you, but you mustn't be the one that closes the deal. There's a place of networking in sales. There's a place of teamwork. There's a place of acknowledging one another's potential. You must acknowledge that there may be something that you may not have, that someone in your team might have, right? So there is a place of a community in teamwork. There's a place of having a communal understanding in teamwork. Without this thing, there's nothing like teamwork. Remember, there's one thing that destroys team, and that is selfishness. And that is one thing that will make a leader to work alone, when a leader is selfish. You heard from our chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, a certain lead that may come to him, that he gives some other persons to close. It's as simple as that. So you understand your place. You also understand, acknowledge one another's place. All right? All right, thank you so much. So I want to hear the last person. Can you unmute and share with us what you learned from today's topic? Peace, Mercy, are you there?
Yes, yeah, good morning, sir.
All right, you can share with us what you learned.
Okay, I've already shared one though. I was one that talked about replicating yourself in your team. And another thing that I learned from today's teaching was the fact that he made it clear that real estate takes time. That persons that will not want to buy from immediately. Some persons take up to 1 month, like 1 year, 2 years, and the likes. But he kept sending emails every month to establish trust in the heart of the people. And as time goes on, start buying. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. So, that's one virtue every leader leading a team must have, or everyone in this in real estate must have, and that is passion in following up. That must be the place of passion, right? So because that you don't close someone today, it doesn't mean that the person might not buy tomorrow. But we must understand the place of following up, and then we must be consistent. We must be consistent. Consistency is the mother of progress. When you stop, projecting your face before your prospect, then you might likely lose that prospect. You may likely lose that prospect to another rector or associate, right? So that someone gives you an objection today, gives you a reason why it's not buying today, doesn't mean the person might not change his mind tomorrow. But we must learn the art of following up, and we must be consistent. We must never give up on any prospect. It doesn't take anything to send every morning broadcast, prayers, daily motivations. It doesn't take anything. The essence of it is that you must keep your face constantly before your prospects, right? Beautiful one. Thank you so much, Mercy, for such. All right, so we're going to be having the sales role play this morning. And Mercy Benibo, I will likely call you up. All right. So this morning, you're going to be selling. Mercy, are you there? So you're going to be selling to this article section. So you're going to be selling to all right. Mr. Joe, are you there? Mr. Joe Tehire, the acting MD Gtext Holdings, Port Harcourt. Hello, Mr. Joe, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, Mercy, you will be selling to Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe.
Yes,
Mr.
I
Joe
can hear you.
is a chair. Yeah, Mr. Joe is the MD of Gtext Holdings, Port Harcourt. So, Mercy, you will be putting a call across to Mr. Joe right now. So, the floor is open. We are selling Isheli. Yes, the product knowledge is there. It's Jasper, Isheli. So, Mercy Benibo, can you put a call across to Mr. Joe? This is the product you're going to be selling this morning. Mercy, are you there? Mercy, are you there? We have just 8 minutes to do this. All right, I call the next person, Wisdom Elijah. Yes, I'm talking to you. Thank you so much, Wisdom. Wisdom, please, you're going to be selling this our product, Jasper Estate at Isheli North. So you're going to be selling to Mr. Joe Tehire. So the floor is open. You can put a call across to him right now. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Am I speaking to Mr. Joe?
Yes, you are one.
Right, sir. So my name is Elijah Wisdom. I'm a wealth advisor. I work with Gtext Holdings.
Okay, Gtext Associates. I've never heard of you guys.
Sir?
I've never heard of you guys.
Okay. We've been in the business for over 16 years of real estate, selling properties across Nigeria.
Okay, let me hear what you want to say. I don't have much time. Please round up.
All right, sir. I'll be as fast as possible. Sir, I don't know. I don't know if you're interested in securing a property, sir. If that is what you want to do at the moment, or you want to invest
No,
in real estate.
I'm not looking at any investment at this time.
Oh, sir, this is actually an investment that will give you a good return in a very short period of time, sir. This offer, I want to give you this point.
Okay, let me just hear you. You want to already told you right now, mind the market.
Okay, sir. But this time I'm calling is a very beautiful time because we're actually running a flash promo that will last for just 24 hours for a product that is in Isheri in Lagos State, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir?
Go ahead.
I didn't get you, sir. I didn't hear you.
I said you should go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. All right, sir.
Listen.
So, all right, sir. So a plot is going for right now. A plot is going for just 15 million naira. Actually, the actual price is 50 million naira. But because, as I told you earlier, it's a flash promo, so you're already having a good return on investment, sir. So that whenever you want to sell your property, you're already making 10x of what you are buying today already. And if you prefer to go for a mini estate, instead of buying per plot for 40 million, we're giving you outrightly for 10 million naira, sir. So would it be like something you want to do right? And this is the land is on a very strategic location, sir. It's very close to channels television. It's very close to fan estate. It's also close to mechano industry. So it's actually on a very strategic place. So it's something that once you get today, in the shortest time ever, you'll be getting a very good return on investment, sir. I don't know if you're interested, so that.
All right. Yeah, just as you asked earlier, thank you for giving me a help. I'm actually not interested right now, but if I have any of my friends are interested, I will let you know.
Okay, your cycle might also be interested. If you can also introduce me to one or two of your cycles, that would be nice as well, sir.
Yeah, I don't know you guys, so if I'm having a conversation as once they want to get that around the sharing, I cannot just stay and tap with my friends.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful one. That's a nice one coming from Wisdom Elijah. Thank you so much for the boldness and the confidence. All right. We're going to be hearing from Mr. Joe. So please help us to vet the call. And the essence of this is for personal improvement, correction, and of course, personal improvement. All right. So, Mr. Joe, can you vet this call by Wisdom Elijah?
Okay, so I would say you started. I would say you started well. You started by introducing yourself, where you came from, but you were pausing too much with your introduction. I think when you want to introduce, if you listen to doctors with your cold calling, you say just let your introduction go straight. You don't have to be pausing too much. Then secondly, that question you asked me if I was looking to buy property 90% of the time. clients will tell you they are not interested, even if at that time they are even looking for a property, because they don't know you, they are just getting to meet you 90% of the time. They will tell you they are not interested. So I'll say eliminate that question. Yes. So in replacement of that question, you should, and doctor also emphasizes on asking permission. So you should have a set of questions you want to ask them to provide them before you start pitching down the product. So you ask the permission in the sense that, sir, I have a few questions to ask you so that I will know the best offer to present to you. Is it fine I go ahead with the questions, sir? So that way you've gotten their permission, and then you can now ask them, provide them if they have property, say they have project. Then instead of asking, are you interested or are you in the market? This time around, you can now ask, sir, if you get a good property, CFO title that has very high return of investment that is measurable, that you can calculate and measure, is it not something that you want to take advantage of? See the difference. So it's not, is it, will you be interested? Is it not something you want to take advantage of? So most times they respond much more positive than you just asking if they are interested. But overall, I like your confidence, I like your flow, and I love that you are able to pitch. Then one last thing is, when you are pitching issue, I like to bring out the mathematics inside. So I say, instead of you paying 50 million, you are getting 35 million naira profit, even as you are paying right now. Despite the fact that we know that Magodo and Omole phase 1 is close to the property, and the plot of land there is 150. So it's just a matter of time that this land will be catch up to 150 million. But you already have 35 million as you are paying for this property. And even better, if you are buying 6 plots, look at it now. A plot is 50 million. We are getting 6 plots at 10 million. You have 35 million naira on each plot. That's, if you do the math, I think it's 130 million there, but I'm not very sure. So you have 130 million profit down as you are making. So by the time you do all those mathematics and they are seeing it, and all you have to do right now is just to make 5 million naira deposit to secure this space. And so we don't have so many. You can see on the flyer we only have 5 plots available. Then I want to encourage you to not let this pass you by. Even if not for you, for your family's sake. When you put it that way, you put it with that kind of energy and mathematical analysis. Trust me, most times they start to say, okay, let me see, they now start showing interest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joe Tehire. And once again, thank you so much, Wisdom Elijah. We appreciate your courage, and I hope you've learned something from that. All right, so we're going to be going to the next training for today. And to take us today is the acting MD of Gtext Associates. And of course, when it comes to closing deals, having result is someone that you should listen to because of the track records. So she's not going to be sharing what she just learned by knowledge, but what she has actually touched, the things she has actually experienced. She had experience in terms of closing deals and all that. So we're going to be having an opportunity to be hearing from her this morning. So I want you to get your paper, your biro ready, and because we're going to be getting value. I'm telling you that this morning is going to be awesome. So with clapping ovation, can we make welcome Ms. Jessica Elebio as she takes up at the podium for today's training. All right, Madam Jessica, you're welcome. You're welcome. You can take over from here. Madam Jessica, are you there? All right. So, like, as we wait for Madam Jessica, I want to say this once again for the sake of emphasis that in teamwork, one of the things we must eliminate is selfishness. We've said it before, and that's what Doc was emphasizing in his training. We must eliminate selfishness. You can't go far in this business if you are selfish. And of course, in a football match, you will bear witness that it's not the first person that if we're kind of footballer that you always want to be the one to score. Of course, you'll be less assured that your team is going to lose the match, right? So there is division of labor. Everyone have their own potential. So what makes you a true leader is your ability to, number one, to discover potentials. Number two, to maximize potential for what? For collective purpose. So, number two, a leader trains his team. Number two, a leader knows how to acknowledge one another's potential. That's where you hear someone like our Dr. Stephen Akintayo say something like this, that some of the leads that will come to him, that he might, it's not, sometimes he moved them to 1 or 2 person, not because he can't close that deal, but in his level, he knows that there's certain conversation that he may need to shift to 1 or 2 person in his team. And this is one thing that every one of us who want to go far in this business must take note of. Mrs. Jessica, are you ready?
Yeah, you can speak.
Yeah, just give me some few seconds.
All right.
Listen, my slide.
So as we wait for Ms. Jessica, all right, somebody's asking a question. All right, Madam Jessica is there.
Yes.
So how do I?
So we must understand the power of teamwork, and we must also learn to work as team. There's a difference between teamwork, where there is teamwork, and where teamwork, right? They are two different. So there are so many people that have a team, but in reality,
All right, so I'm ready.
there is, oh, beautiful. All right, so Madam Jessica is ready. All right, Madam Jessica, over to you right now.
Good morning, everyone. Good to have you all here. My name is Jessica Elediyo, acting MD for Gtext Associates. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so my topic for today is how to sell. No, it's not how to sell. Okay, so my topic for today is how to sell high-ticket product, but selling through the art of inaction. Like, I'm talking about COI today. I'm emphasizing on COI. You know, we have what we call ROI, which is the returns on investment. So most person tends to focus on just the ROI when they are selling. That is what they emphasize to family and friends, to the prospects when they are selling. But there's what we call COI. So COI refers to the cost of inaction, not just the return on investment alone. So instead of solely emphasizing on the benefits of buying from you, I learned what your prospect stands to lose by not taking action, right? So what will it cost them if they don't engage with you? You have to make it clear that delaying or ignoring the opportunity will have significant consequences, right? So many of them don't know that if they don't take action right now, it has a consequence. So if you emphasize on that, they will buy, because many persons, some are not futuristic. They just want to know what will happen now. Okay, I want to buy from you. So what will I benefit right now if I buy from you? So if you can emphasize on that, it will make them to take action instead of waiting, especially those ones that will tell you, I'm not interested. They have their reasons for not being interested because you've not given them enough value why they should take action immediately. Value exchange is key. So when discussing value, don't just focus on the ROI, just as I mentioned. Don't just focus on the ROI and the potential gains. Also stress on the cost of staying in their current position. Now, for me, let me take it off sales now. Before I joined Gtext, like I mentioned, I was at the rock bottom. Like there was nothing. I didn't even have the transportation fare to come for interview for the internship program, right? So, but what will happen if I don't take a step then? It means I'll continue to be where I was. So I don't want that. So I had to look for a reason why I have to move. Like I invited someone for a program some time ago, and she gave me all the reasons why she can't come. Her mother is coming, her mother-in-law is there, she has to feed this one, she has to cook, she has to do. And so I asked her, so what if there's a billion waiting for you at the other side? Like there's a billion, we want to give you 1 billion. Because she was supposed to be there by 5 a.m., like not 5 a.m. per se, like the training starts from 9, and she said that was too early for her. But when I explained why she has to be there, she saw the reason why she has to do those things she wants to do in the morning, like the cooking is what she can do in the evening, just heat it up and come. And she was at the meeting, and she came to hug me later. Thank God I came. Thank God I attended. Thank you for the push. So she was grateful because she must have lost a lot if she hasn't taken that step. Likewise, me, if I hadn't taken the step that, okay, let me come out and learn, instead of being an amateur, I can actually do this thing as a professional, I would have still been in that same position, waiting and complaining about Nigeria, complaining about Tinubu, right? So the cost of taking action matters a lot. That's the cost of inaction matters a lot. So you need to emphasize on why the client has to take action to get your product immediately. So like I mentioned, ROI is futuristic in nature. Your ROI, a client can buy the products right now and get returns immediately. So ROI is about investing now to achieve higher returns in the future. Everybody knows that. Even the person that wants to buy knows that, okay, I will get high return in the future, but what about now? So if you don't tell them the now, many persons don't take action because they don't know why they should buy immediately. You are only giving them the projected value, what they will get in future. Like, okay, buy now, the next 200, you will get 200 to 500 returns in the next 2 to 5 years of you buying. Oh, quite all right. But why should I take action right now? That is what you need to emphasize on. So COI is immediate. It's not a future possibility. It is the present reality. So why ROI emphasizes on future rewards? COI highlights the cost of inaction right now, making it a powerful motivator. So what are the consequences of inaction? I hope it's clear. It's clear, right? They are getting value. Yeah. So because most people don't know that there's anything that like COI, that cost of inaction. So consequence of inaction or delay in securing good real estate investment opportunities. Before you move there, so I met someone at the airport at the lounge. I was opportune to travel with when we are coming back from Abuja, Dr. Stephen and Dr. Maduka, we are coming back. So we are at the VIP lounge, and I saw a lot of opportunities there. So for me, I have to grab it immediately. So I was talking to one elderly man. I was explaining what we do and how we can benefit from what we do. So he gave me audience, but he now said, he's old, he's not interested and all that. So I just thought of what to do. From all these trainings that Dr. Stephen has been training us, all these videos and the rest, I decided to put it into practice. But if I don't put it into practice, it's right there in my front. He was seated somewhere else, but I'm sure you would have seen me talking to this person, right? So I had to emphasize on the consequence of not taking action now. You didn't take action before, and right now that I'm giving you this opportunity, you still don't want to take action. Because the way I see him, I know he can afford our product without blinking. So he told me he doesn't invest in land, he doesn't like properties and all that. So what do you invest your money on? He said, oh, just traveling, having fun. And I said, what about your kids? What about just do something for them? He said, oh, they will do their own thing with kids. Everybody's wealthy and like that. So I had to explain the consequence of him not taking action now, because I'm not saying when he's old, he won't be able to take care of himself, but there will be a certain age whereby you have to start depending on some persons. That why would you want to depend on persons? Why do you want to depend on your family? Even though you've trained these kids, those are like back then when parents wait that, oh, I want to wait until my children have money, my children can feed me. I know, quite all right, everybody wants to eat the rewards of their children, but why can't you take action now? It's not too late for you to invest. If you invest like this, you get this and that. Invest this so that you have a passive income. Even when you're so old, money just keeps flowing, coming from every corner. I'm like, wow, this makes sense. No one has explained this to him before. He said, let's talk then. And he gave me his contacts and he told me, collected the brochure for me and said, okay, I'm going to send this to my kids and explain everything he just told me to them so that they will start investing now. Right, so I gave him the consequence of not taking action, the consequence of inaction. That was what I was able to tell him. That was why he decided to take a step. Ordinarily, he would have like, I'm not interested, I'm an old man, and just stay away from me. But I made him understand that if you don't take that step now, when you are much older, you have to be calling and send me 30 million, send me 30 days, send me this money, and sometimes it might take a while to get it. But if you have put things in place, it will just be dropping on its own, like a platter on a platter of food. Continue. So the consequences of inaction, one of them is price appreciation and increased costs. So property value tends to rise over time. So delaying investment means paying a higher price later, right? So the land we are selling, like, let me give an instance now. In Guzape, there's someone I sold Guzape land to. So when he wants to buy, the land is selling for 40 million. As at then, it was on pre-launch price. We are selling at pre-launch. We've not launched the estate then. So it was selling for 40 million per plot if you are buying just a plot, a single plot, right? But if you are buying 6 plots, you are going to get it for 10 million per plot. So he wanted to go for, he's like, okay, can we negotiate? Let him go for, he wants to go for 1 plot or 2. So at the end of the day, I was able to push him to get 6 plots. So he doesn't want to take that action then, but I let him know that if you don't take this action now, the price will increase. This is a pre-launch price, and this is the price. They're buying it half of the price. By the time the price changes, you will still come and buy, but not for this price. You're going to send mails, begging, on top of your money. That was what I told him, right? Sending mails and apologizing. I will be grateful if this is acceptable. If you approve this, I'll be grateful. I want to buy from your project and all that. I said, why that? Why can't you take the action right now? So I explained everything to him. And so that was like, okay, let's do it then. And he bought. I even helped the colleague close the deal too. The man was looking at, okay, he mentioned in our Jasper Estate, Ibejuleki, he missed out while we are selling for 4.5 million then. So right now he's selling for 50 million. So he said the reason why he didn't buy was some persons encouraged him to buy. One of them was his spouse. So it's paying him that this is what he would have achieved right now and all that. Now he wants to buy Guzape. And I'm explaining to him now, okay, Oga, just buy it for this price is selling. As at the time he wants to buy, the land was now selling for 30 million. The other one I sold for, remember it was selling for 10 million per plot if you're buying 6 plots. That was why that person bought 6 plots, right? Now it has appreciated and now selling for 30 million per plot. So this person is still doing shakara on top of the 30 million per plot. So I told him, I told him by next year, maybe you come and buy it for 80 million, right? So the consequence of not taking action means he's going to buy it at a higher price. That was what I told him. So it's either you do it right now or pay like double or more the price. In fact, I didn't even know I was talking about the consequence of not taking action, but I emphasized more on that than the ROI. It's good to emphasize on the ROI. Most persons want it to appreciate, but at that point, as they want to buy, what is the consequence of inaction? If you can emphasize on that, they will take a step immediately. Some of them will tell you they don't have the money now, they are not ready now, one thing. But if you give them enough value, why they should buy now, they will go ahead and take a step. The money is there. I can remember this same man that wants to buy it for 30 million was like, oh, I don't have that kind of money. If you guys can sell it for 15 million for me, I'm going to buy it now. I said, okay, if you don't buy it now, you come and buy it for 18 million next year. I told him I sold this same land for 10 million naira, and now it's 30 million. So if you are still waiting till the following year, you are going to buy it higher. And I'm like, okay, all right. You have a nice day. I said, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I really appreciate that, the fact that we're able to have this discussion and all that. And I'm like, okay, bye. It didn't take like 10 minutes. He called back again. I said, okay, then we are going for inspection. I was able to show him what we have in our Jasper estate that I told you we are not connected to national grid. You can see it yourself. I showed him around the estate. He saw everything. I was like, okay, let's do it then. So his money was in one wallet or so, I don't know. So he was able to do the transfer the following day, bang, bang, bam. So the 30 million dropped. Like that. So he understood the consequence of not taking action. Right? So missed capital appreciation. Real estate appreciates in value. And delaying means missing out on potential gains from property appreciation, right? So whoever does not take action immediately, the land will keep appreciating. It doesn't wait for anyone. It just keep appreciating naturally. And by the time the person comes again, we would have seen that, wow, I should have bought at that then. Let's take, for instance, Banana Island. Those persons that bought about 20 years ago, bought property in Banana Island 20 years ago, and maybe they bought massive plots, right? That's money for them now. So for those ones that didn't take action, I met someone that mentioned, he told me he saw Banana Island then, they were selling Banana Island, and he went to buy in Zimbabwe, he called it also. But his friends that bought here, because this one was quite a little bit expensive, while the Mwe was very cheap. So he bought massive ones in Mwe, while his friends decided to buy in Banana Island. And he was seeing water here. He wasn't seeing the future. He wasn't seeing the consequence of not taking that action to buy in this prime location. And he wasn't seeing the future value of it. But the other one is a futuristic investor, like he's a visionary investor. So he has seen what he wants to buy. He has seen the value, even though he tried to persuade him that, guy, let's buy here. But he refused. He told me himself, I met him, he told me himself that he would have been like, imagine him buying that his friends in the morning. All his children, his family, all of them are in diaspora doing great. For him that bought him way how far. I'm not saying way was bad, don't get me wrong, please. Don't quote me that Jessica said don't buy him way, I can't shout. I'm not saying it's, I'm just saying the consequence of not taking action and not buying at the right spots where you're supposed to buy. The location matters a lot. Right now, our properties are in prime locations where you get high returns on investment. So imagine that one that bought, the clients that bought that property goes up 10 million per plot. And now if you check the flyer, what do you see there? 100 million per plot. Yeah. He's happy. He's happy that he bought from us and he has referred some other persons to buy. So it's not about just selling now. It's about the relationship. Will the client come back and buy from you much later? Will they refer someone else to buy? That is what Gtext care about. right? It's not about buying now alone. They buy now. So what happens next? So that is why Dr. Stephen, he doesn't just buy land. We buy land where we know our clients will get high return on investments and come back later to buy again from us, and also refer family and friends to buy. By the time you close a lead, that is just the beginning. You still have to do business with them. So lots of prime locations, just as I mentioned, the best locations get sold out first. Waiting too long may leave you with less desirable options, right? So getting land in this same Banana Island I mentioned, for most persons that didn't buy like 20 years ago, I don't know if they can afford this right now, right? But if they had taken action, immediate action as at the time they were asked to buy, I'm sure they will be happy now. Higher financing costs. Interest rates fluctuate, right? So delaying a purchase could result to higher mortgage rates and increased borrowing costs. Then reduced return on investment. Early investors enjoy ROI through rental income, capital appreciation. Delaying reduces long-term profitability. Let me bring it down to the land right now. So the client that bought for 10 million per plot, and you can watch between, it was just a few months later now, isn't like 3 months or so, before we sold that one for 30 million naira. So he bought 10 million, the other one bought for 30 per plot, right? And now he's selling for 100 per plot, right? So it's not, apart from say the land itself, it's what we've added, value added to the land, right? We are bringing in green and smart homes over there. Most persons buying right now knows what they are buying into. That they are not just buying land, they are buying luxury service plots, not your regular kind of land, but a luxury service plot. And they know in future when they want to sell it, they will still sell it at a higher value too. So people that have bought before will enjoy a better ROI, right? So increased competition, more investors entering the market. There are more and more investors entering the markets right now. So delay may result in tougher competition and fewer good deals. Then inflation impact. As inflation increases, the cost of land, materials, and labor increases, making future purchases more expensive, right? So the cost of buying cement and the rest, like I remember our Jasper estate here, when I joined Gtext, I think the 5-bedroom, I can't remember, but I just know the land wasn't selling up to 100 million then. It wasn't up to 100 million for the 4 bedrooms then, when I joined Gtext. Right now it's 145 million naira for the one in Lagos. So the cost of material will increase and all that. So those ones that took action then are really enjoying it. In fact, they have already put tenants in the off plan, the house that they purchased from us. Limited leverage opportunities. Early investment allows leverage property value for future investments. Delaying reduces your financing and equity building potentials. So loss of passive income potential. Rental income can create financial stability, right? Just as I mentioned to that man. So delaying investment means missing out on years of passive income, passive cash flow. So a friend of mine in Abuja, she's a lawyer. She mentioned her uncle. There's this property the uncle wants her to sell. So as we were discussing, she told me this her uncle has a lot of properties. He even bought massive, he has somewhere like a market to where every day the passive income just keep coming in. Even if he said if his uncle doesn't do anything again for life, he just keep receiving income, passive income, because he has properties in a lot of locations, lands too. And most of these places, he can't even remember that he has properties there, except to go through the documents again and start calling whoever sold to him and all that. So he has built his wealth in such a way that he's earning passive income. And I can remember when D1, that is Dayo Adeneye, when he came to our estate, You know, these celebrities, when they speak and listen to them, many of them, especially the ones that are elderly that have invested before. So when he came to our estate, he mentioned how he has a lot of lands that he can't even remember a lot of them. His parents were very wealthy, and so they gave them properties every corner. So the same land he bought for, is it 50 kobo he mentioned? The 5 naira that he mentioned, right now was selling for 35 million or so, I can't remember. So, and he is not even willing to sell. So when it comes to real estate, when it comes to buying of property, you can't go wrong on it. So generational wealth building. Real estate is a key asset for wealth transfer. Delaying means reducing the opportunity to create generational wealth, right? So if they don't buy, you need to emphasize all this to them. If you emphasize on this, they will, and when you are emphasizing on it, does not mean you should take the whole day emphasizing on it. You should create your elevator speech, and you should be brief and straight to the point with them. If you know you can't give them all this value at once, you can try to schedule a meeting with them where you'll be able to give them more value. Instead of you trying to close at the spot, you must not close at the spot every time. Just give them enough value for them to want to listen to you again or wait for your call. Like some persons will say, oh, I was expecting your call. You said you would call so time, I expected your call. It's because you've given them value. Because if you don't give them value, they won't even remember who you are. They'll ask, I can't remember. Which day? When? You start explaining yourself, they can't remember. But at that point in time, when you meet anybody, you give them value. The value you gave them, even though you call in a month's time, they will still remember. I can remember I spoke to someone and I didn't follow up. That was bad of me anyway. When I finally reached out to him, he said, I've been expecting your call. How come you're just calling now? So I apologized and all that. It was the way I saved the contact. I didn't save the contact with the event. So I actually forgot that, I met this person. So when I now called and he's like, I've been expecting your call, Jessica. And I was surprised, like, wow, so he still remembered me. So it was because of the value I gave him, the value I gave him when we met. So like I mentioned, generational wealth building. Real estate is a key asset for wealth transfer. So if they don't take action immediately, how would they be able to transfer the wealth? I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day and he mentioned he has a lot of properties already. So he has started building his own wealth transfer for his kids and for his family. You know, instead of waiting and saying maybe later or postponing, okay, maybe much later. So the delaying it means reducing the opportunities to create generational wealth. I think that was it. So emotional regrets. Most persons will feel bad later in future that they didn't buy property or they didn't take action when they are supposed to take, right? So as inflation increases, the cost of land, materials, and labor also increases. So it will now making future purchases more expensive, right? So if you can emphasize on this on your client, they will go ahead and take a step rather than waiting. Rather than waiting and like, okay, I will do it much later, or like, okay, I will buy. Like most persons will say, I will buy later. Don't worry, I said I will buy when I'm ready. When will you be ready? Why can't you be ready now? So what I asked them majorly is, what will it take for us to do business today? What will it take? So because many of them never said they don't have the money. They will just tell you, I will buy. I'm just not ready for that now. They're not ready for that now does not mean they don't have the finance, they don't have the money to buy. But because you've not given them enough value, you did not emphasize on the cost of inaction, so they won't want to take a step. So henceforth, try to emphasize on the cost of inaction and also emphasize on the cost of, on the return on investment, what they will get when they buy from you. The cost of inaction and also the ROI. If you add these two together, Even if they are not ready, they will take a step. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Jessica. Thank you so much. I know we've all gotten value. Now, what do we say to Madam Jessica? Send it in the chat box. What do we say to Madam Jessica for adding such a great value? What do you say to Madam Jessica? Send it in the chat box. And of course, you know that what Madam Jessica will always want to expect from us is results, right? Go bring in the sales. If I ask her to say something regarding what she should expect in return for these values that she has just added, she will tell you to go bring in the sales. Thank you so much. We love you, Madam Jessica. Beautiful. Can we send in our response to this training? That's value we've received. Beautiful. All right. So the cost of inaction, of course, we should take note that, one of our doctors training in this course, this training people will buy from you, not just because of what they stand to gain, but what they will stand to lose, right? So people will buy, and we say that research, that people that bought, not really because of what they stand to gain, but what they stand to lose if they don't buy. So this is what Madam Jessica is teaching us this morning, the cost of inaction. All right. So even as you talk to your prospect, you must emphasize the consequences of inaction. In other words, what they stand to, if they snooze, what they stand to lose if they snooze. All right. Okay. So I'm going to take questions right now. Maybe because of this training, you have one or two questions that pumps in your mind. You can now unmute and ask your question. Or you can also send it in the chat box. If you have any question based on this training or the previous training by Dr. Stephen Akintayo, or the one we just received right now by Madam Jessica Elebio, you can do well to unmute yourself and then ask your question.
Okay, please. My name is Olakunle. Let me ask a question. Most of the people in my most of my prospects that I profile that they have the capacity to buy what I sell. By the time I now engage them, some of the responses I get is that I have 2 plots in Shangotetu. I have 1 acre. So it's like it weakens me, makes me to like recall back to from pushing forward, because it's as if these ones already know the importance of real estate and they've already taken the action. So it's just like there's nothing much for you to tell me. Already I've taken the action. Maybe if I've known you many years back, but I've already taken the action. So I'm just looking for the strategy of now trying to push them, penetrate, to make them to want to patronize me. That's my question. Thank you.
So,
Okay. Mr. Olakunle, are you asking a question or?
Yes, it's a question that how can I build myself so that I'll be able to push those who have the money, but they already feel like they have what I'm trying to tell them, and they're already okay.
Okay, so what you need to do is that it depends on where they have this practice, right? So they can still buy our US product. So pitch another product to them. It's high time they go international. They should stop playing local. So go international. They can buy in the US. They can buy at Dubai properties too. So if you emphasize on those ones and let them know why they should buy in the US projects, right? They will get higher returns later. It's even a better way for them to save their money in dollars. So if you emphasize on that, why not? They'll take a step.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Jessica, for that quick response. Okay, thank you also, Olatunle, for asking. All right, do we have another question? Any other question? All right, so when is the inspection to issue? All right, so every other question that has to do with inspection to Isheli and Ikorodu, Alabara Fatima, I know you are in our WhatsApp group. All this question will be sent to us across to all our various WhatsApp group. All right, I have someone here, Double Owo Holmes. All right, can you unmute and ask your question if your hand is lifted up?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I hope you can hear and see me clearly.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. I had a question on the platform the other time, and attention was not given to it. So that's why I'm coming up to, ask again. That the Sherry land that we have in the Sherry, I hope it's not affected by, the flow of the dam. That's one question that I'm trying to focus. I don't know if you can get the answer to that. Thank you very much.
So, Madam Jessica, do you understand the question?
I don't understand.
Please, Double Holmes, can you come again with your question?
Okay, we are having a sharing knot. I hope it is not affected by dam, because in that area, we notice that there's this flow of dam that affects people in that area. So the land that we have there, I hope that one is not going to be affected with dam. That's what I want to clarify. Thank you very much.
Well, the land is in a prime location, and I'm 2 years now in Gtext. I've not seen anything done in that area. Again, we have provision for the land. We are going to have a central drainage system, a massive one in the estate. So even if there's a dam or wherever, it won't affect our occupants, the residents of that property. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, any other question? All right, so in the absence of any other question, we're going to be ending it here. Once again, I want to thank every one of us who have participated in this morning training. I know we've all gotten value. Thank you so much for participating. And let's go out there and bring in the sales. The essence, the proof that we've actually learned something is actually in our result, in the fruits. So if there is no fruit, if there's no result, there's no evidence that we've actually learned something. So let's go out there and bring in the sales. So thank you so much once again for joining us today. This is Gtext Associates bringing this 30 days challenge to you. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, for giving us the platform to share value to all the associates. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everyone in different branches for joining this training. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hello, Chukudi. You didn't emphasize on the incentives, right? The incentives, the cars they will get, yeah, the commissions, and we have other incentives for you. Just sell.
All right,
also
you've heard
have
her.
the trip to Doha. Don't forget the trip to Doha. I don't know. Maybe some persons here don't like traveling. Now you want to travel for free. I don't know. We've given you that opportunity to go for free, even though you might have the money to travel, right? So for me, I would say sell, sell, sell. Doctor emphasized on the power of duplication this morning. Why is it just you? Why can't you invite other persons to come and sell, right? So because you get commission based on whatever they do too, right? Our commission structure is very sweet. I've done this before in the past, even before I came to Gtext, like a networker. By the time you duplicate, that's a lot. By the time the money drop here, drop here, drop here, drop here, plus your own, that's a lot, right? So build your sales team, just as Dr. Stephen has mentioned. If you build a sales team, it's very nice. You will love it, I'm telling you. And don't forget, there's a car award for you. Just sell massively and get the car. Thank you. Chukwudi, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.